So now I should conclude this paragraph, the introduction, by giving a general opinion. Just something general that I think about this topic. And in the essay, I'm going to discuss and I'm going to be argumentative. I'm going to talk about both, and I'm going to give my opinion about both. So for that reason, I should try to write an opinion sentence that is neutral, right? I don't want to be one-sided here, even though both views may be reasonable. From my point of view, before we concentrate on science and its, no, not before. We should concentrate on science and its solution-based applications. However, we should not turn a blind eye to the needs of our society. So, even though both views may be reasonable, from my point of view, that's structure. We should concentrate on science, saying here. And its solution-based applications. Because mostly everything that science gives us is solutions. So solution-based means it's focus. However, this is where the neutral part comes in, because the first part is saying focus on science, but the second part is saying, however, we should not, we should not turn a blind eye. Now, this turn a blind eye, a little bit of an expression, but it's common. Turn a blind eye is another way of saying ignore. We should not ignore. Turn a blind eye, ignore. So we should not ignore the needs of our society. Okay? So you see here my general opinion, it was neutral. It was in both parts. Okay, so do we have any questions about that introduction?
No, thank you.
Good. All right. So let's go and look at our guide again so we can be guided well. Yes, so now what I need to do is I need to talk about both sides.
Yes.
Okay? I'm going to talk about the first side. It can be either or. There's, what we need to do here is we need to give reasons for why both sides, not my side. Like we already did, remember we just did? We talked about this one is good and this one is good.
Mm.
So we need to do that now. We can talk about, I guess we talked about health first, so, social problems first. So we'll do that first. We're gonna we don't need to spend so much time in this talking about both sides. We don't need to fully explain everything clearly when we talk about both sides. We just need to give reasons. So for that case, we are going to use a 3-sentence approach. Look, 1, 2, 3. It's only 3 sentences we write. This will make it easier. First, we just introduce the main reason, we give some other reasons, and then we close the paragraph. So let's do that. Okay. To begin with, it is commonly thought that the citizens of the nation should be the priority of the state, since or because without a healthy society, we may not be able to function well, not healthy, harmonious. We may not be able to function adequately. And yeah, adequately. No. Let's put peacefully. So, meaning, so to begin with, it is commonly thought that, that's our structure, the citizens of the nation should be the priority of the state, so the main focus, priority. Because without a harmonious society, we may not be able to function peacefully. Okay? So that's one of the reasons we mentioned already. Then the second sentence, it is additionally believed that, let me just go back to put what we said already. Well, crime, educating, right? To create more opportunities. Okay. So it is additionally believed that some social programs emancipate the state and help it become more productive. Focusing on people, on social needs, might provide more equal opportunities for everyone. And we could reduce negative social issues such as crime. Okay, so it is additionally believed that, it's our structure, some social programs emancipate. Emancipate means increase or elevate the state and help it become more productive. Focusing on social needs might provide. Let's change instead of provide, lead to. And we could reduce negative social issues more, such as crime. So that was our second sentence about adding some extra ideas. Okay, so now we're going to close this paragraph. Therefore, we could agree that the state should invest in its people over science first and foremost. So we're just going to what the question says. The question says we should invest in the people, in society, in its social problems. Mm-hmm. So again, that was the first side. You can see here's 3 sentences. 1, 2, 3. I know that, yeah. We didn't really explain everything, right? We just gave the reasons, which is what we should do to write faster in this case. Any questions about that?
No, thank
Got
you.
it all, Jose? Jose says, piece of cake. Piece of cake. I got it. Jose is a good example of our program. He's moved up so rapidly. First he was in 4, 5.
4, 5.
Yeah, the first one. No, it was 4, 5.
4, 5. 4, 5.
Yeah, with Joe.
Yeah.
Then you get into 5, 6. And now IELTS academic.
Oh.
How have you done it so quickly?
Until the coronavirus.
The coronavirus affected his study. He had more time to study. No, Jose, you're doing great. It's true. It's the truth. If you didn't understand what we were saying here, because believe me, I don't know who was, no, you weren't in there. But sometimes we have some IELTS students coming to IELTS and you can tell that they don't understand one word. Not one word. This is not you. He's even giving us answers, solutions. So, now we're going to get to the other side. Let's remember. Second side. We're going to use on the contrary, other experts contend that. To start, we're going to use it is further argued that to give our secondary ideas. And then we're going to close, hence it can be understood why. Okay? So, let's start with that. On the contrary, other experts contend that without promoting scientific research in many fields, our society may not be able to progress and even have serious consequences. Okay. On the contrary, other experts contend that without promoting scientific research in many fields, our society may not be able to progress and even face serious consequences. Let's put here as spread of mortal diseases. Okay, so there you go. There's one. So you notice I could explain this further. I could say and other, but I'm not saying it because we don't need to explain everything here. We just need to give a reason. Okay? So next, It is further argued that well, let me just go back to the ideas that we had over here. So essential work, we need progress, technology, internet health education, environmental research, climate change and medical technology. Okay, all right. So some scientific discoveries have enabled progress in our social sphere. Um, research in other fields could lead to, could be crucial for our survival on the planet. Let's put in here. We haven't used it often, but e.g. notation. So I want to put in here e.g. notation, okay? So just trying to see if we put it. No, we're not going to put it. We're not going to put it in brackets. So just comment like this. Okay. We're going to use e.g. notation. Now, I usually don't use e.g. notation, but the reason I'm using it today is because I used as in and such as so many times already. Not that it's wrong, but we just want to have more. So e.g. like this. E.g. space research and geoengineering. Actually, I am going to use brackets, sorry. Or I have too many commas because I want to connect. I want to connect to and here, so I'm going to use bracket notation. And then comma. So I put it in brackets instead because I want to put an additional phrase at the end. I want to say and here. So that's too many comma, 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 no. So if you're going to do it like this, it's better like this, okay? And thanks to much technological advancement, our stuff. Much of our daily modern life has become simplified than in the past. Okay, so it is further argued that some scientific discoveries have enabled progress in our social sphere, such as the internet. In education, comma, research in other fields could be crucial for our survival on the planet, e.g. space research and geoengineering. And thanks to much technological advancement, thanks to a way of expressing it is good, or because of, because of, yeah, because of, I could have put because of here, because of much technological. So thanks to is another way of saying because of. Much technological advancement, modern life has become much more simplified. Than in the past. Pretty long sentence. Now, I will say that in honesty, you can just say one of those. You can just say, it is further argued that some scientific discoveries have enabled progress in our social sphere, such as the internet education. Period. That's enough. Okay? You can just end. You can end the sentence there. You can end it there. Now, the only reason why I didn't end it, okay, is because I just want to give you an example of we can include more. And actually, the more ideas that you include in each paragraph, of course, the more you include, the more academic, right? Yeah, the higher the score. But this right here, so far, it could be enough for even level 7. So that's why I put in, and also we spoke about these examples already. We spoke about them. So I wanted to include them in there. That's the only reason I'm making it longer. And actually, I should have said this about here as well. We could end our sentence right over here. We could end it right there, this paragraph. We don't need to give 4 ideas. No. So maybe this essay is turning into level 8 or maybe. See, if you understand everything I was saying, you're level 9.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So we close this, hence it can be understood why many scientists many scientific fields are at the center of our government's funding. Let's put not at the center, are at the, or are the main recipients of our government's funding. Of government funding. Okay. So we closed that paragraph there.
Oh.
I know I'm gonna get a big discount on that coffee. Don't forget that if you come to our class, you get this wonderful treatment. Fiji water. It's the best water in the world. I'm not? Oh! Nobody told me anything. No. I was even talking to the screen. Why didn't you tell me before?
You want that way.
I know Mabel and Fahima, they never want to see me.
No, I felt a little alone in the screen because I can see Fahima,
no.
but I think you have to solve some problem in your computer because I don't know.
No, I just, for some reason, in the beginning, well, when we start, it is off. But
Okay.
nobody said nothing to me until now. Until now that I tried, I said. Until now, I said, if you come to school, you get Fiji water. And I went like this. I said, you get Fiji water, the best water in the world. And then Alex told me, oh, you're not on the, I was like, what? And all along, I've been doing this. I've been, so, I think that, and I think oh, yeah, so what do you, yeah. So I didn't know. disappointment. All right, okay. Now I understand. If I'm not on the computer screen, who cares? All right. Okay, so any questions about those two paragraphs? Okay?
No.
No? So according to our guide then, now we need to get to our side. Yeah. Our side. Which means now we need to agree to, well, we're going to say both sides, right? So we need to agree to one reason for why we agree with science research and another reason for scientific research, okay? So we're going to follow this structure over here, having considered both sides, then the first reason, and then we're going to explain something about that. Then we're going to go to the other side, on the other hand, and we're going to explain and we're going to close. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentences. Okay. All right. So, having considered both sides of this polemic debate, it seems much more convincing that both pose plausible arguments. So this is all structure, actually. It's just a connecting sentence. Some students say, oh, do I need to put that huge long sentence because it takes time? My answer is yes. Yes, you do. Or I actually haven't really thought about, I guess we could say, I'll think of something else. So first and most importantly, it is undeniable. So first and most importantly is undeniable is a very strong way. So something you feel stronger should go here. So I'm going to go and I'm going to agree with the reason about if we don't have a healthy society, then we won't be able to do anything. If we don't have, not healthy, I mean peaceful society. Okay? It is undeniable that the establishment of a harmonious state could foster the growth and development and lead to scientific advancement. Okay. So the establishment or the creation of a harmonious state or country could foster, could support the growth and development of a nation and lead to cause scientific advancement. Like we said, which one comes first? Okay, so that's the first side. So I'm agreeing. What am I agreeing with? Focusing on social problems or focusing on science?
To me, social problems.
Right, because I'm saying that's first. So then I need to explain this a little bit. Owing to this reality, our government should focus on reducing, not curbing, social problems such as poverty, inequality, and boosting our education system. Okay. I'm going to put here to name a few because there are more. Owing to this reality, our government, saying plural because I'm speaking for every nation, should focus on curbing, reducing social problems such as poverty, inequality, and boosting the education of all citizens. To name a few is structured here. Let's put social, well, let's put class inequality. Meaning social class. I'm not talking about other kinds of inequalities. We know that in many countries, there exists a huge gap between rich and poor. So support class inequality. So that's the first side. Now I want to get to the other hand side. On the other hand, however, we should not ignore that our world is confronting some serious, pressing issues that require, well, that have been, that could have catastrophic consequences if not dealt with appropriately. such as climate change and and pandemics, like put there, just to put it. I don't want to say exactly COVID-19, but you get the idea. So we should not ignore that our world is confronting, so we're dealing with some pressing issues, serious issues that could have catastrophic consequences if not dealt with appropriately. Like right now. Oh, let me change this here. Not such as in. Well, climate change and pandemics. Okay. So this one here, we need to explain a little bit more. So on account of this, so because of this, we should include not much. We should include, well, we should allocate part of the national budget on scientific research that could advance, provide practical and effective solutions to these issues. So on account of this is the explanation here. We should allocate, so this means provide, part of the national budget on scientific research that could, let's not say, I'm going to change provide here to bolster. Bolster. Bolster means increase or result in. Okay. So that was talking about in favor of scientific research. So now we're going to close. Consequently, it is without a doubt that social welfare should not be overlooked. Overlooked in terms of funding, but scientific research needs to be at the top of governmental investments equally. So, consequently, it is without a doubt that no, I forgot. I put here although. It's better than putting here but. But I just changed that because it sounds more academic in this way. So, consequently, it is without a doubt that although social welfare should not be overlooked in terms of funding, scientific research needs to be at the top of governmental investments equally. So both of them need to be, I'm suggesting here, in some way equal. So this paragraph was my side. I talked about the first point, agreeing with the first side, right? And then I talked about agreeing with the second side. All right. Any questions about this paragraph? No? Okay then.
No.
So our guide now says that we should be in our conclusion. Okay? So we want to conclude and relate back to the topic. And then emphasize our opinion. Our final statement. Okay? So let's see. To conclude, since the creation of the democratic state, it became it is the state's moral and ethical obligation to provide, to ensure a harmonious way of life to ensure the welfare of all its citizens. Change that a little bit. Okay, so to conclude, Since the creation of a democratic state, so since we first created a democracy, it is the state's moral and ethical obligation. So it has to do it to ensure the welfare of all its citizens. So no matter what, it says here that the country should provide for the people. Okay? Above all, though, I would like to emphasize that science has enlightened our modern world. And enlightened means like giving us so much knowledge. And led to great discoveries in medicine, well, just great discoveries. However, our society should utilize it to promote a harmonious and peaceful tomorrow. Okay, above all though, I would like to emphasize that scientific research has enlightened our modern world and led to great discoveries. Not however, therefore. Therefore, our society should utilize it to promote a harmonious and peaceful tomorrow. So in here, okay, in here, I'm saying we should use science for our benefit, not conflict. I was trying to think of, I always try to think of some idiom or expression to finish with, but I couldn't think about it. Related to science, no. Anyways. Okay. 516 words. It's short today.
Sure.
Well,
How many time? How many time?
40 minutes.
Wow.
For this writing is 40 minutes?
You should take in 40 minutes.
40
My
minutes.
question is, in the exam, what time you have for this exam?
You should have 40 minutes because you have 1 hour for an essay and the other task, 2 tasks.
Okay.
But so let me just eliminate those parts here. Let me show you here. If I eliminate this part and I eliminate this part, that's 450 words. Also, some people say that we don't need to give this example here, actually, owing to this reality. And on account of this, and that's 405 words. And then if we get rid of this structure sentence, it's only 387. So again, I'm just giving you here an example, okay?
Yes.
And about 100 of those are just structure. Nothing else but structure. Plus, now that you have all the ideas here and you remember them all, it's easy. Right?
It's okay.
Let's read. Okay, so why don't you start for us, Fahima?
Okay. The questions of whether our society should provide more funding toward its social problems or scientific research has been a highly contested on recently.
Oh, it should say one. One.
Contested more recently.
Yeah.
Mm.
Also, don't forget that this is an argument essay. I wanted to, sorry, Fahima. Argument essay on page 15. Discuss both views and which do you favor. Anytime it says discuss both views, that means argument essay. When it says agree, disagree, it's an agree, disagree essay. Okay? And we followed the structure in our grammar and guides book, which is page 85 and 86. Okay? That's the structure we followed. And again, the topic was some people think that investing in science is more important than social problems or society. But other experts think we should ignore our social problems and invest more in sciences. Okay. One more time, Fahima, please. Can you read that one?
The questions of whether our society should provide more funding toward its social problems or scientific research has been a highly congested one recently.
Okay, now Jose, can you go to the first next?
A common opinion is that our government should try to optimize its social welfare state.
Okay, Mabel.
While from another perspective, some scientists posit that we must invest in all fields of science since they would provide essential answers to ensure our survival.
All right, Carolina.
Even though both views may be reasonable from my point of view, we should concentrate on science and its solution-based applications. However, we should turn a blind eye to the needs of our society.
Even though.
Even though.
Though.
Even
And not turn a blind eye. Not turn.
yes.
Okay, so that was the introduction. Now we're going to look at the first side, one side of this debate. Okay, Fahima.
To begin with, it's commonly taught that the citizens of the nation should be the priority of the state because without a harmonious society, we may not be able to function peacefully.
Okay, good. Jose?
It is additionally believed that some social programs emancipate to the state and help it become more productive. Focusing on social needs might lead to more equal opportunities for everyone, and we could reduce negative social issues or source of crime.
Okay, good. And Mabel?
Therefore, we could agree that the state should invest in its people over science first and foremost.
Okay, so that was one side of the debate, which was science, society or social welfare is more important. Okay, now we get to the other side. Okay, where we're talking about science is more important than social, or investing in science more important. Carolina?
On the contrary, other experts contend that without promoting scientific research in many fields, our society may not be able to progress and even face serious consequences, as in the spread of mortal disease.
Okay, next is Fahima.
It's further argued that some scientific discoveries have enabled progress in our social sphere, such as the interment in educations. So, search and other fields could be crucial for our survival on the planet. For example, space search and geoengineering. And thanks to much technological advancement, modern life has become much more simplified than in the past.
Okay,
Hence,
research. Okay.
research, for example, space research and geoengineering.
Okay,
And
good.
thanks.
I was just pointing out that it should be research. Okay, so next is Jose. Hence,
it can be understood why many scientific fields are the main recipients of government funding.
fields, yeah.
Okay.
Why? I know, I should say files, but
Yes.
fields.
Fields.
Okay, good. So now we got to, we looked at both sides. Now we get to our side where we need to say why it's what we agree with, okay? Go ahead, Mabel.
Having considered both sides of this polemic debate, it seemed much more convincing that both pose plausible arguments.
Okay, what's first here, Carolina?
First and most importantly, it is undeniable the establishment of a harmonious state could foster the growth and development of the nation and lead to scientific advancement.
Advancement, okay. All right, Fahima?
Owing to this reality, our government should focus on curbing social problems such as poverty, class inequality, and boosting the education of all citizens to a name a few.
Right, here, sorry, it should say to name a few. Boosting. Okay, next, Jose.
On the other hand, however, we should not ignore that could have catastrophic consequences if not
Our world.
Oh my God.
Our world.
Our world.
Our world is confronting some pressing issues that could have catastrophic consequences if not dealt with appropriately, as in climate change and pandemics.
Good, okay, Mabel?
On account of this, we should allocate part of the national budget on scientific research that could bolster practical and effective solutions to these issues.
Okay, in closing, Carolina?
Consequently, it is without a doubt that untold social welfare should not be overlooked in terms of funding scientific research needs to be at the top of the governmental investments equally.
Good, and now we get to our conclusion. Okay, something about this, just a general sentence about this topic first, Fahima.
To conclude, since the creation of the democratic state, it's the state's moral and the ethical obligations to ensure the welfare of all its citizens.
Okay, so now I'm changing something here. Has been. I'm gonna put that in there instead because from that time, so has been. It has been the state's moral and ethical, okay? Good. And last point here, Jose.
Above all, though, I would like to emphasize that scientific research has enlightened our modern world and led to great discoveries. Therefore, our society should utilize it to promote our harmonious and peaceful tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Though.
Above all,
Mm-hmm. Utilize. Harmonious. Hard. Okay. Well. Now that we have everything about scientific research, so now let's not forget that for homework, it will be 14. So that one about technology and scientific research. Mm-hmm.